And here they come. Listen to this crowd as the Tide come racing onto the field for the season opener. Oh boy. That band cranking up. The excitement in the air. The American flag being toted out by the Tide. And here we go. And still, if you want to come to the game, a few good seats still available over on the BTW side of the field.
But this is what it's all about, man. This is why I love this game so much, y'all. Friday night, small town America. I mean, your town almost seems to be, it's an extension of who you are, is your high school football program, and Trenton feels that way, and they're absolutely right. And we're watching Cooper Bogus warm up right now. As you know, Cooper is a lefty. He looks pretty smooth, looks like he's okay. We'll see if he gets the start tonight.
Noah Holbrook drops back deep here waiting to kick off. He's a speedster, the junior. Noah Holbrook back there deep. He's joined. He'll stand at his 17-yard line to the Tide, and Eli Hammonds. Also a junior, both Eli and Noah Holbrook. Speedsters for the Golden Tide. Well, it's a beautiful field here. The paint on the field. Tav Bowell is down there rocking on the sideline view. It's like old home week for us here with Tav Bowell and Shane Jacobs. We called so many of the games they coached at Jackson Northside. What a magical run. Tav is head coach there, and Shane was an assistant under Tav Bowell at Jackson Northside. They enjoyed unbeaten seasons and tripped all the way to the Class 5A semifinals, and it took a mammoth effort by Jalen Hurd.
Here we go. We're just about underway.
To knock the Indians out of a state championship berth.
He had almost 400 yards in that game.
Like Eddie George. BTW says they're ready. As Conley approaches the football, toe meet leather, and we're underway with an end over end. It's a line drive field at 25. Center of the field at 30. 35, bouncing outside 40. To the 45, to the 50. Down the sideline he goes to the 35, to the 30. Cutting back inside along the hash mark at the 25 before he's finally taken off his feet. On the return for the Tide. He nearly took it to the house. Noah Holbrook. What a way to start the 2018 season as Holbrook nearly took that one all the way back for a touchdown, view.
Well, I'll tell you what, he had a great setup right here. He had 4 blockers right in front of him, take out about 5 Warriors. He hit the crease, got outside, cut back against the flow, made some beautiful moves, and the Tide has set up shop inside the 25-yard line.
Questions answered. Will Cooper Bogus start tonight? That's a resounding yes, sir. With 3 wide receivers. Bogus shotgun, he'll hand it off with room. 25-20 to the 15, bouncing outside to the 10, and cut down along the sideline. Just outside the 10 on the carry for the Tide is big old Gerald Dixon, listed as large. He's a junior running back. And he is a low.
Dude, this is the one we were talking about when we were down on the field. Dixon is a monster, just a junior. He's got some guns too, buddy.
First and 10 just outside of the BTW 11. Here's Dixon again, running left side to the 5. Inside the 5 he goes and cut down near the goal line around the 2. It's big old Dixon once again. It'll be second down and a yard and a half. At the 3 for the Tide. 2 plays. And second and 1 from the 3 for the Tide. Shotgun for Bogus. 3 wide receivers. Dixon alone setback. Here's Bogus. He'll hand it off. Dixon in trouble in the backfield. Escapes 1 tackle, but not the second, and dives back near the line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd down. It's short for the Tide.
A slow developing play that time. And again, I love the power read concept, and that's exactly what we're seeing right here. That time the flow went to the left. Dixon goes to the right, but a pretty decent play that time of the defensive end that time for Booker T. Washington, Deion Harris.
3rd down and a yard. Peabody, the line of scrimmage, the Booker T. Washington 3. They need just inside the 2 for a 1st down. Bogus, the quarterback, in his shotgun. Dixon, the lone setback. This will be Dixon, straight up the middle, bouncing off of 1 tackle, diving into the end zone. Touchdown, Peabody. Well, it's
And Peabody's
Dale Dixon, the workhorse on this drive after Noah Halbrook brought that opening kickoff all the way back into BTW territory to 35-yard line. And it's Dale Dixon doing the damage the rest of the way. BTW actually played that one well, View. They just couldn't get Dixon off his feet. Come in, New York, New York. Come in, New York, View. Come in, View. The extra points is up, and it is no good. So if you want something to work on, View, it is extra points on that opening drive. But Peabody with 10:15 left in the first quarter. Our score, Peabody 6 and BTW nothing. On Jackson's News Talk, 101.5 at WNWS.com.
Welcome to Jackson's only News Talk FM. This is WNWS FM Jackson, 101.5 FM.
Creating smiles and building confidence. Near Dental Center, a tradition of quality care. State of the art, you'll find it here.
Premier Dental Center would like to take this opportunity to say thank you to all our patients for their continued trust and confidence. Our team is looking forward to sharing the latest in technology with our patients, as well as showing you the positive effects that quality dental care can have on your life. We continue to offer affordable dentistry for your entire family.
Give us a call today to schedule those appointments. We can be reached in Jackson at 300-3000, in Milan at 613-2800, or in our Bells location at 663-9999.
Creating smiles and building confidence. Near Dental Center.
News Talk, 101.5 FM, the home of Monday Night Football.
10-12 left in the first quarter. Peabody goes 3 plays, 35 yards on the opening possession of the game after a tremendous kick return by Noah Halbrook. It's 6-0 tied to extra points. No good, View. Something to work on after that first drive.
Yeah, honestly, I know it ended up in a score, but there was some execution along the offensive line that truly was lacking. And as you mentioned on that 3-yard touchdown run, that time by Dixon, he was met in the backfield by about, at least one defender hit him, but tried to wrap Dixon up top on a bull moose like that. You can't do that, and he just trucked him into the end zone. And then on the extra point, they went for 2, and the execution was bad there. But on the flip side here, now that BTW's got the ball, and this is going to tell you this is what you're expecting for tonight. BTW coming out of the huddle on their first possession has to call a timeout in the huddle because they can't figure out who's supposed to be in the huddle. That is not a good sign going forward.
Booker T will scrimmage with their own 20, a touchback. They'll have the ball at their own 20 to start this season. First offensive series of the game. 28-0 Milan leading Humboldt early there. Game brought to you in part by Marco's Pizza in Jackson. Oh boy. We'll tell you more about that in a moment. Here's Booker T with the football for the first time. It's 6-0 tied, 10-12 left opening quarter. They go shotgun to the air. Got a man open. 5-yard out is thrown high and incomplete. It'll be second down and 10 for the Warriors.
Well, that's Brandon Boyd, the quarterback that time. Just a quick hitch out into the short side flat, but really let this ball sail. The receiver was open, but overthrew him by about 4 yards.
Booker T. Washington, coached by Winston Delane, assisted by Aubrey Phillips, Delvin Lane, the mascot, the Warrior. Michael Holmes, the athletic director. Elijah Kiter, the principal. Booker T. Washington. It is Brandon Boyd, a 6'2 quarterback. Back to throw. Rolls right. Here comes the pressure. Looking downfield. Boyd in trouble. Boyd is sacked. And the ball squirted free and out of bounds. They're going to mark him just inside the 15. That'll be a loss of 6. It'll be 3rd and long as Boyd. Maybe we could tell on the replay, Bass, but Boyd just underhanded it out of bounds to try to save some yardage.
Well, I mean, and that counts as a pass. So let me see what happens here. And that knee was down. That's why the marking, because if that knee hadn't gone down, that would have been an incomplete pass.
No receiver in the area code. Could have been a grounding call unless they would have determined it was deflected. But he was down, as Bass said. It's third down and 16 from the 13. We got some movement along that front. Peabody came across the line of scrimmage. Were they drawn offsides? Is the question. The answer is no. So a 5-yard mark off. Third down and 16. Will turn it to third and 11 for the Warriors. So Cooper Bogus, the junior all-everything quarterback for the Tide, did get the start tonight, if you're just joining us. Hasn't put it in the air yet, but Buhey looked comfortable in the shotgun and running that Tide offense. A 3-play scoring drive, covered 35 yards. Third down and 11. Here is BTW back to the air. Got a man open, caught at the 25 to the 30. Along the numbers, picking up enough for a first down. Out to the 34-yard line. Needed 11, picked up 15, and the Warriors convert on third down and long.
Boy, and that was Perrion Gates. Same play that the pass was floated the last time. Boy, really good after the catch. I thought he got a step early on his route, to be honest with you. The officials didn't call it. I thought he's about a half step off the line of scrimmage before the snap.
Really close. Officials right down the scene says nope. So, a conversion. Moving right to left on your dial. It's first down and 10 for the Warriors. New line of scrimmage, zone 34. Back to the air underneath. Not much there on first down. Tackled at the line of scrimmage. No gain on first down.
We can see they tried to execute that little short side slip screen right there. The slot receiver comes underneath, but a great job by the defensive backs to fight through the tackle. And another young man who's been very active so far is J.C. Eubanks, the left defensive end. He and Jasper Albee really quite the bookend tandem.
Brandon Boyd is 6'2", 200-pound quarterback for Booker T. Washington. Second down and 10. Booker T moving right to left on your radio dial. Here's a draw with room. 35 along the hash mark and taken off his feet at the 37. That gain is only 3 yards on the carry. Oliver. That's the speed of the Tide defense. Looked like there was a running lane that they closed off quickly.
Well, delayed gap in the delayed A-gap blitz, and I'll tell you what, that was a beautiful little sidestep that time by Jamal Oliver because the blitz was timed perfectly. It just took a perfect little juke move right there. It was only about a 4-yard gain, but Oliver, what a move.
Been more impressive to me, that Tide defense and their quickness to close off that run lane for a gain of only 3. It's third down and 6. Here is BTW back to throw again, launching it deep down the sideline, and this one is incomplete. Fortunate for the Tide because the defender had fallen down. Defending was Eli Hammond. That pass intended for Nelson and Bass. That one could have been an easy 6 right there.
Well, honestly, that should have been offensive pass interference to me because it looked like Nelson shoved the defender in the back and down to the ground. He was the slot on that side. They've been setting up that little hitch. The slot releases right down the sideline, and it's a perfect route to run. But if you watch this, watch right here, Danny. Just as the ball goes, he takes those hands and shoves them straight down to the ground.
He does extend those arms. It's the dangerous Halbrook awaiting the punt. It's a high, short punt. Halbrook asks for and makes the fair catch for Peabody at the 37-yard line. That's where the Golden Tide will take over first down and 10 with 7:37 remaining in the first quarter. It's Peabody 6 and BTW nothing. Your impression so far, Bu? Defensively, the Tide, they give up a first down and force it punt offensively. We've only seen 3 plays, and a short field produced a 35-yard touchdown drive for the Golden Tide.
Yeah, good pressure off the edges, keeping most things in front of them right there. Boyd does have a decent arm for BTW, so he can't just sit back because he can sling the ball.
Second time tonight, we get a look at the Golden Tide offense. Big home crowd here for the Tide. And next week, it's Peabody traveling in-county rival Milan awaits the Tide next week. Oh boy, that's going to be a big one next week. Marco's Pizza, right now, the large Founders Select Pizza. That's the Old World pepperoni, sliced Italian sausage and mushrooms. Oh, Man Drive in Jackson. Right in front of the Home Depot, they deliver. 300-0400, or you can order online at marcos.com. It's marcos.com. We're going to be there every Monday night, starting in September. Review for Monday Night Football at Marco's Pizza.
Yeah, you know, I told Jeff he couldn't make a better pizza than the Philly cheesesteak. He said, watch this with that Founder Select. It's all.
Man.
It is my new favorite word, Reeve. You know what's coming. It is redonk.
It's your favorite word, and it's not really catching on. I would check with Marco's.
Give it time.
Before I use that word on one of their advertisements.
I'm something of a trendsetter. You know that about me.
Well, there's something of a marketing company that hasn't given the okay for the redonk.
No.
So I would check with him before you cost me an account. That would be awesome.
Oh. I'll make up the difference if they can't for that. Don't worry about it.
No, I'd rather keep Marcos.
I don't think you got anything to worry about, brother. Well, he said redonk, man. I can't do it.
Just the same. Let's keep redonk confined to maybe one of your card games or.
I don't play cards.
1st and 10 for the Tide. First time here's Bogus. We'll see him through the air. Fires deep down the near sideline, and this pass is deflected and incomplete. At the 25-yard line, that one intended for Holbrook, who's a heck of an athlete. He climbed the ladder and made a great effort at it. He tried the high point of football. Bogus laid it up there, gave his receiver a chance. A little bit of excitement on the first aerial of the evening for quarterback Bogus, who made a speedy recovery.
Yeah, Cooper's arm strength is ridiculous. No question about it. It may have put a little too much air under that ball. Allow the defender to get back.
Here's a draw, sent up the middle to the 40. Had dragging a tackler with him across the 45, and running on out to the 47-yard line. Areas again at Jarrell Dixon. He's the workhorse tonight on the ground, and the Tide is just shy of a first down. It'll be 3rd down and inches, but the power of this man, Dixon.
Well, I keep going to him, and a great job the left side of that offensive line, kicking out that defensive end, and Osiris Wilson leading the way.
3rd down and inches, Peabody at their own 47-yard line. Bogus in the shotgun. This will be Bogus. Handing off with room. 50, 45, 40, 35, cutting back inside 30, to the 25, to the 20, along the hash mark to the 15, to the 10, to the 5, to the end zone. Touchdown, Peabody. Holy moly. Beautiful run by Jaquez Wilkins. His first carry of the night. Covers 63 yards and a Tide. It paid right for the second time tonight here in the first quarter with 5:43 remaining. Our score, Peabody 12 and BTW nothing. Well, the clock's still running on the extra point.
Yeah, that's what I was telling them.
Extra point attempt is up, and that kick is good. 5:25 left in the first quarter. On your score, Peabody 13. BTW nothing on Jackson's newest one. 101.5 and WNWS.com.
It's the competition crusher. Singles event going on now at Sarah Jackson. We will beat any dealer on any Chevy, period. 2018 Chevy Spark starting at $11,921 and payments as low as $184 a month. 2018 Chevy Sonic starting at $14,999 and payments as low as $239 a month. You can save over $12,000 on new 2018 Silverados. Big city deals. Small town hospitality only at Sarah Jackson. One destination, so many choices. Rushing the competition every day in every way.
First in news, first in sports, the NFL, and Monday Night Football, only on News Talk 101.5 FM.
Peabody Golden Tide Football presented in part by King Jewelers, 16B Conrad Drive in Jackson. King Jewelers, a king of bling, Grover Blue Eyes King. 13-0 Peabody. 4:44 left in the first quarter. Peabody kick it off after the beautiful touchdown run. Basket to describe it to you was a thing of beauty. Just moments ago, Peabody both touchdowns tonight on the ground. So here's the Tide. As the toe meets leather, kickoff is going to be scooped up into 10 along that sideline on the far side. It's a fumble across the 20. Who's got it? I think it may have rolled out of bounds. It did. So a break for BTW. Kick it off was Bryce Franks. But the touchdown run by Jaquez Wilkins for Peabody covered 63 yards, and Bassett was a thing of beauty.
Boy, he got a big gap on the right side, a little bit of hole right there. The C's parted. He exploded through it. Has a little bit quicker step than Dixon does. He plants back to the left, sticks that foot in the ground, cuts back in about a quarter of a yard in about a quarter of a second, and then gets contact, completely spins around, keeps his bearing, strong enough to run it into the end zone. Unbelievable
What
run.
a combination, Bew. Terrell Dixon.
Both
and then
juniors.
Switching gears to Jaquez Wilkins. Holy moly. Here is BTW. Boyd back to throw. Launches deep down the far sideline. This pass is complete. But guess who caught it? The Tide. It's an INT. A gorgeous interception for Peabody. Went down on the turf to make that catch, the interception. Isaiah Jackson, turnover, and the Tide, just like that, they have the ball right back.
Well, this is easy, though. And I don't know that he caught this. He might have, like, to get a slow-mo on this one. But this is easy because, look, I'm not really sure what BTW is doing because the sideline acts as a defender right there. You're running these short side routes, even on a go. The defensive back just plays inside position right there. The boundary is another defender, and you've got three wide to the wide side, and you don't even look that direction.
There's Peabody after the turnover. 1st and 10, down 40. 13-0 Peabody. 4:28 remaining in the first quarter. Second turnover of the ball game for the Tide. This game is presented in part by the Hughes Eye Group. 112 Stonebridge in Jackson. Dr. Matt Hughes, Dr. Casey Davis, and Chief LASIK Surgeon Dr. David Underwood. Boston Medical and Surgical Eye Care, 112 Stonebridge. Slip screen, near side, 45-50. Down the sideline to the 45. It's scampering out of bounds at the BTW 40. That's a gain of 20. That's a Peabody first down. On the reception for the Tide, Josh Parks, a senior. And Parks, another one of those outstanding athletes, Bew, for the Tide. I tell you, Shane Jacobs, he likes his team, and we can see why.
And outstanding blocking on the bubble by these two wide receivers, both kicking their man out. And you see Dixon releasing out of the backfield, cleaning up the defensive end.
1st and 10 into BTW territory at the 40. Back to the ground, back to Wilkins with room. 35 along the hash mark and taken down near the 30. That's a gain of 9 at first down. Is here, it's Hayden Nichols. It's a minor miracle, really, if you think back a couple of months ago that Cooper Bogus didn't miss one snap so far this season. 2 months ago, it would have been a pipe dream to think he would be starting on opening night for the Tide, the QB.
Yeah, it was a different story then. Cooper actually was able to go and get a second opinion out of state from Michigan to find out if they were going to get to clear him to play.
We'll get the rest of that story here in just a moment. Second down, less than a yard. Here is Bogus back to throw. Here comes the pressure. Rose to his right. Now back to his left. Bogus in trouble. Bogus escaping. Bogus 25. Or make that 35. Bogus 30. Bogus bouncing outside to the 25 and dragged down at the BTW 24-yard line. Cooper Bogus had retreated about 20 yards. He scrambled to his right, reverse field back to his left. He turned what could have been a 20-yard loss into a 15-yard gain. That's the magic of Cooper Bogus and the Tide with a fresh set of downs.
Everybody sees, ooh, good play. I see a bad play. I see 4 defensive linemen who put easy early pressure on a 5-man front. That's not a good sign.
Well, the glass is half full, though, with Bogus picking up a first down with a tremendous athletic play. Here's the sweep on the ground right side, cutting back 20. Slipping a tackle inside the 15. And Halbrook stumbles down to the 14. On first down, it's Halbrook again, picking up 8 yards. I'll make it 9. On the ground is a sweep right side view. We're going to get that Cooper Bogus story a little bit later on tonight because it's an amazing story that Peabody right now offensively view. Just too much for BTW to handle.
Wow, and this 1-2 punch of Wilkins and Dixon is going to lay on a lot of people all year long.
Going to look at the scoreboard here in just a moment. This Bogus back to the air. Quickly, a short pass out in the right flat. Fought at the 15 and then pulling over a BTW down to the 10, inside the 10 before he's tackled near the 12-yard line. On the reception for the Tide, Eli Hammonds. First time we called his name tonight. He's another electrifying player for the Tide.
Snap, turn, switch. It's basically an extension of your running game is what that is, and they executed it perfectly. If you're going to give them that room, you might see the same play again.
The gain is 6, 2nd and 4 at the 7. This will be on the ground, straight ahead from the 7. Tackled from behind and falling forward to the 5-yard line is Dixon again. It'll be 3rd and short. Is the score coming in, the update from Milan. 41-0. Or make it 42-0 Milan. First quarter over Humboldt.
Did you say 42-0 in the first quarter?
Yes.
Well, my.
Oh, boy. 3rd down and 2. Peabody at the BTW 2. Bogus, shotgun snap. Bogus will hand it off to Dixon. What will Dixon do? He'll run into the end zone. Touchdown, Peabody. This time, the touchdown run covers 4 yards. The second time tonight, Dixon is hit pay dirt, and the Tide stretch the lead with 1 minute and 5 ticks left in quarter number 1. It's Peabody 19, BTW nothing view. The offensive line dominant. The running backs dominant. Bogus very comfortable. The QB here the season opener. Extra point is up, and that's good by Bryce Franks. And with 1 minute, 6 left in the opening quarter, our new score. Peabody 20. Booker T nothing. On Jackson's News Talk 101.5 at WNWS.com.
Masterfit Medical Equipment is on a mission, and that mission is to serve everyone with premium medical equipment at savings you wouldn't find elsewhere. At Masterfit, we represent over 200 medical equipment and supply manufacturers and over 90,000 products, with much of it in our warehouse right here in Jackson. Defibrillators, monitors, EKGs, pumps, sensors, and more. So when you need more affordable medical equipment, call Masterfit Medical Equipment at 554-1223.
We've even got the Super Bowl. News Talk 101.5 FM.
Peabody football also presented by Rock and Dough Pizza, downtown Jackson and the Jackson Walk view. Rock and Dough Pizza right down to Jackson Walk. Brunch tomorrow and Sunday. That's something special. Some out of an event, right, View?
You got that right, man.
Here's Bryce's kickoff. It's high, hanging, drifting into the end zone for a touchback. Well, that's just some icing on the cake for a football team, a complete team. Bryce Franks, you got a kicker? They can kick it in the end zone or the kickoff view. That will effectively negate a chance for the other team to hurt you on a kickoff return. This team, I know it's BTW, but you can tell by the execution pass, this team is ready for next week.
Yeah, they're awfully good. There's no question. Now, I see some things that I don't like. I'm not going to sugarcoat, but it's tough in a game like this. You know, it really is to keep your focus and maintain it. Now, some great things have happened. There's no doubt about that. But there's a few things they can clean up. Let's see if BTW starts running the football a little bit more. Get the ball in Oliver's hands.
1 minute 6 left here in the first quarter. 20-0, Peabody leading Booker T. Washington. This is Booker T on the ground, some misdirection, and lost his footing back at the 15-yard line. If he lost it 5 yards, he slipped down, and you'll see that a lot early on in the season, especially as the field is well manicured. It hadn't taken much traffic. You know, it's in great condition, and sometimes a little bit slick. That time the footing, and the loss is 5 yards. He slipped down in the backfield.
That's because he had to cut back inside. I'm going to put my foot in the left tackle's tail right there because I'm going to seal that edge right there. And if I do that, I've got an outside kick for a good gain.
2nd and 15. Back to the ground and back to the ground. Literally slipping down again, this time at the 11-yard line. It's a loss of 4. So first 2 plays have gone in reverse for BTW. It'll be 3rd down and 19.
Well, that was Bryce Franks from his outside linebacker position. Seen him taking a very nice angle that time. And the quarterback, Brandon Boyd, realized I'm not going anywhere. Let me set it on down here before I take an unnecessary shot.
This game presented in part by Best One Tire and Service Center in Jackson and in Brownsville. Best One Tire and Service Center, helping bring you Trenton Peabody football. Watch the game at WNWS.com. That'll do it for quarter number 1. It's all Peabody. 20-0 tied after 1. We'll be back after this on Jackson's News Talk, 101.5 and WNWS.com.
Choose the best one. When it comes to choosing the right tires for your vehicle, we want to make it easy for you to choose the best one. At Best One Tire, we have thousands of passenger and light truck tires in stock, including Michelin, BF Goodrich, Uniroyal, Bridgestone, and Firestone. When you buy your tires from Best One Tire, you'll receive free nitrogen inflation. And we rotate and balance your tires free for the life of the tire. Also, with every free tire rotation, we do a free brake inspection. In addition to tires, we offer oil changes, wheel alignments, and complete brake service. We want your business for generations to come. Your family is our family at Best One Tire. Let us put you safely on the road. Call us at 660-4072. Best One Tire, just off Highway 412 at the Country Club exit, just down from 84 Lumber, and at 1180 South Dupree in Brownsville. Best One Tire.
Did you say football? High school game of the week, the SEC championship, and the NFL on Monday nights. News Talk 101.5 FM. 101.5 FM.
We move along to quarter number 2. Peabody with a 20-0 lead over Booker T. Washington. As we start quarter number 2, BTW with the football facing 3rd and 19 from their own 11. Here's Boyd, shotgun, back to throw. He lost the football back into 3 and has to fall on it. It's another big loss. There's 3 plays starting at the 20. Their own 20 to BTW. They went in reverse back to the 5. They'll have to punt it away. 3rd down and 25 for BTW. That one went in reverse. Or make it 3rd down and 35.
At first, I thought BTW was trying to set up a screen right there, a little middle screen, but that's not the case. They just got beaten that badly off the ball by that front 4 for Peabody.
Great look at head coach Shane Jacobs and assistant coach Tab Val on the sidelines. Boy, Tab he's swollen. Look at him. I feel like he got stung by a bee. Tab Val. Here's the punt attempt out of the end zone, nearly blocked. May have been partially blocked coming out of that end zone. I believe it was. That's going to hit at the 16 with some backward English and be downed at the BTW. They're going to mark down at the 12. That's a punt with a advance of a yard. So what here on the replay view, I don't think Peabody got a hand on it.
They didn't. The pressure was so great, the ball just basically went straight up, hit about the 17, kicked back to the 13, so it's going to be a net of about 7 yards.
Oh, that's right. They were down into 5. That's correct. Here's Vargas, shotgun snap. He's going to run it. Has the 10. Sidesteps the tackler to the 5. Dives into the end zone. Touchdown. And Cooper Vargas right along that near hash mark. I mean, he made another brilliant play with his feet. He slipped the tackler to line of scrimmage and another would-be tackler to 5. right along that near hash mark into the end zone for the Peabody touchdown. Cooper Bogus hits pay dirt.
Well, he did a great job on that read right there. That he fakes the jet sweep, sees the middle is wide open, has only got one man that he's got to beat. He did that, gets in the end zone for the 4th rushing touchdown for the Tide.
Here's Isaiah Hicks for the extra point attempt for Peabody. The snap, place, and kick all perfect. And with 10:54 left before halftime, our new score, Peabody 27, Booker T nothing. On Jackson's News Talk, 101.5 at WNWS.com.
Choose the best one. When it comes to choosing the right tires for your vehicle, we want to make it easy for you to choose the best one. At Best One Tire, we have thousands of passenger and light truck tires in stock, including Michelin, BF Goodrich, Uniroyal, Bridgestone, and Firestone. When you buy your tires from Best One Tire, you'll receive free nitrogen inflation. And we rotate and balance your tires free for the life of the tire. Also, with every free tire rotation, we do a free brake inspection. In addition to tires, we offer oil changes, wheel alignments, and complete brake service. We want your business for generations to come. Your family is our family at Best One Tire. Let us put you safely on the road. Call us at 660-4072. Best One Tire, just off Highway 412 at the Country Club exit, just down from 84 Lumber, and at 1180 South Dupree in Brownsville. Best One Tire.
Jackson's News Talk leader. Jackson's News Talk leader. News Talk 101.5 FM.
Bryce Franks to get off for Peabody. Short kickoff. It will be scooped at the 19 and then hammered right there. Watch on the replay view. That ball was live. Peabody nearly got down there with a chance to cover that kick up. But hands up by BTW to scoop it. They paid for it. The minimum, they keep the football. They'll start just inside their own 20. Problem is, they're down by 27 points and still nearly 11 minutes left before halftime. Here is BTW. On the ground, nothing. They'll be tackled behind the line of scrimmage. Just way too much penetration for the Tide. And there was Kyle Oglesby and company. So the last 4 offensive plays for you have gone in reverse for BTW.
I mean, you've got a couple of BTW's linemen that are committing the cardinal sin of standing straight up, especially in a run blocking situation out of an I formation, and 2 of them didn't even make contact with the defender.
Peabody football brought to you in part by Tennessee Tractor. 2321 Highway 45 bypass in Trenton. Tennessee Tractor. Here's Boyd back to throw. Pump fakes, now he'll run it. Working over left side. Has the edge, but not much there as Boyd is hammered out of bounds. He'll move from the 14 out to the 16. It's a gain of 2. It'll be 3rd down and long. The Tennessee Tractor bringing you Peabody football. Parts and service and inventory and about $199 a month for 43.1 horsepower and diesel engine. Tractor. How about a turbocharged diesel engine, $159 a month. Tennessee Tractor, right here in Trenton. Visit TennesseeTractor.com. 3rd and 14 for BTW from their own 14. Boyd back to the air. This time underneath, and it's complete, but then hammered down at the line of scrimmage. Another beautiful defensive play by the Tide. It'll be 4th down and long. Another punting situation for BTW. As that time again going underneath. The quarterback making a play for the Tide. Isaiah Jackson, the senior, in coverage.
We covered some ground quickly, didn't he?
He sure did. BTW going to punt again near their own goal line. Last time it was a net punt of 7 yards. A little bit better this time, but not a wide. That punt's going to hit at the 25 and be scooped up. Halbrook scooped it up at the 27. He's thrown down there. He did that in heavy traffic. Tell you this, they may have a word with him at the sideline, but if you're going to field the ball in heavy traffic. Look at that. You better make sure you actually complete and bring that ball into the chest and don't lose it. And Halbrook did. He's wanting to make a play. He wants to return the punt.
And I don't think he realized just how close the defender was to him, behind him, because he had gotten a step behind that defender, but he was right up on him still.
They may have said it to him. You want your punt returner to be aggressive. Here's Dixon on the ground with room. From the 28, breaking a tackle as the 20, has the 15, and he lowers that head, does Dixon, and runs it on down along the hash mark inside the 10 before Dixon is finally tripped up at the 9-yard line. It's a gain of 17. It's another Peabody first down as it's tied on the move once again, right back in the red zone.
You know, you look at that build out of Dixon, and he reminds me of former Southside running back John Tamian Forrest with those guns and that power running.
Here's Bogus, shotgun snap, slip screen, far side, breaks the tackle, dives down to the 11. On the reception for the Tide, Eli Hammonds. Hammonds officially at the 7-yard line. It'll be second and goal from the 7 for the Tide.
Well, I go that same formation, Danny, and then I'll release Dixon out of the backfield, coming back across. He'd walk in.
Second and goal. It is 7. Dixon on the ground, left side. Dixon 5. Dixon in zone, untouched.
8 minutes to go before half.
Touchdown, Peabody.
More coming up. It's 33.
Jarrell Dixon for the third time here in the first half was it pay dirt. He ran it right over left side. The offensive line had pushed that defensive front back 5 yards. Dixon from 7 yards out, Bassey was never touched.
Yeah, they saw what I saw. That was just textbook. That was way too easy.
Here's 6. Extra point attempt. It's up, and it is good. With 8 minutes left in the first half, our new score, Peabody 34, BTW nothing. On Jackson's News Talk, 101.5 at WNWS.com.
When you step into King Jewelers, you're stepping into a family-owned business with nearly 30 years of experience. Let Grover King set you up with estate jewelry or the amazing Citizen Echo Drive watch, as well as custom-designed jewelry. King Jewelers buys gold and silver, offers Rolex repair, as well as watch and jewelry repair. Check out the selection of gemstone jewelry and diamond stud earrings. Store hours are Monday through Friday, 9:30 till 5:30 and 10 till 2 on Saturday.
King Jewelers, 16B Conrad Drive, and a brand new King Jewelers location in downtown Jackson.
First in news, sports, and weather. Jackson's News Talk 101.5 FM.
8 minutes left before halftime. The Tide is high. And they're rolling on the Peabody Golden Tide with a 30-40-0 advantage here at home. Opening week in high school football over BTW. Kicking off once again for the Tide is Franks. This one will be scooped up at the 5, to the 10, to the 15, to the 20. Bouncing outside 25 to the 30. Down the sideline he goes 40, to the 45, to the 50, to the 45, 40. Tightrope it at sideline all the way down to the Peabody 35-yard line. Finally, something positive for BTW. That long kickoff return nearly took it to the house. We watched the replay here. The Bass Gates nearly tucked that one all the way back for the touchdown.
Yeah, everybody just converged right there in the middle. I guess they didn't expect him to kick it out, so not everybody in their lanes that time. But I got to say, man, that was pretty darn good speed that time by Gates.
That tackle was made by Eli Hammonds for the Tide. Boy, he's been active tonight. Saved that touchdown, Butte. Here is BTW on first down, a draw. Whitson Broom has the 30 and taken down. Well, still on his feet to the 25. And now he is taken off his feet at the 20. That's a gain of 15 by Oliver. That's a beautiful run there. 15 yards by Oliver. Sidestepping, looking like Barry Sanders.
That's exactly the comparison that I would use. We're not calling him that, obviously, but that running style and the number, by the way. You're right. He cuts back. He's unbelievable. He's got great body control. Now, they thought that ball came loose. Albie came up with the football, but they said he was down. But again, we told you that earlier in this game, get the ball into Oliver's hands, and you can see why.
Jasper Albio get on the tackle for the tie. 7:11 left before halftime. It's Peabody 34, BTW nothing. BTW at first time tonight, approaching the red zone. Back to Oliver. Sidesteps one tackler and then dragged down at the 18. That's a gain of 2 on first down by Oliver.
Well, I'll tell you what, Peabody's got some doggies in the middle of that defensive line that they can rotate out, and a couple of big boys like Braxton Johnson is one of them. And when you got those two bookends like they have, man, it's going to take a really good football team, a big offensive line, to move them off the point of attack.
Well, he's 4XL. You know, they list him small, medium, large, and extra large in his roster.
Been there before.
Coach Tucker used to do that. I don't like that, I'll be honest with you. It's a fumble, and they scramble for it in the backfield, and the Tide with another turnover as the quarterback, Boyd, lost that shotgun snap. You look like the snap was low. Boyd tried to scoop it, and he tried to drop back at the same time. And just a bad snap results in a Peabody turnover. Is that fumble recovery by the Tide? Looked like Hannah may have come up with it. Do you know that guy?
I think that might have been the case, but I'll tell you what, with Boyd being 6'2",
Rafe Hannah on the fumble recovery.
That's my cousin
your
right
cousin.
there.
It's my cousin.
Not yours.
Oh.
Mr. Nichols. Here's Peabody on first down. They sweep it left side over the near side with some room from the 27, crossing the 30 along that near hash. Across the 35 and tackled at the 37-yard line. It's a gain of 8 yards on the carry for the Tide. That's Noah Halbrook.
Well, power read offense right there. That time off a left tackle, setting the edge perfectly. The offense did a great job of keeping the edge from being set that time, and a nice pickup by Halbrook. Man, they got backs just in waves, don't they?
They do. By the way, South Gibson, 14-7 lead at halftime. August to the air, far side with 40. Outside the numbers to the 45, down the sideline to the 50, to the 45. Tight broken at sideline to the 40, inside the 40, and finally shoved out of bounds, but not before. He's inside the 35 and out of bounds at the 33. BTW on the reception. Holbrook again, Bew. The yards after catch, Holbrook has piling them up tonight.
Now swing out to the wide side flat, but let's give a lot of credit to where it belongs, and that's Josh Parks with a great block. Just sealed it and allowed him to get that edge and go.
First and 10, they sweep it near side. 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Diving to the 1-yard line. They'll block him there. Holy moly. That run nearly took Tyler to the end zone. It covers 34 yards. Tyler nearly dove into the end zone, and that was blocked so well that Tyler stretched it outside view and made a beautiful run.
Well, take a look, though. What am I most impressed with on that entire play? It's not the run. It's the offensive lineman, J.C. Eubanks, who's making a block at the 4-yard line.
First and goal. Boom. Touchdown. Right up the middle. No contact until he's 2 yards of the end zone because that offensive line just shoving BTW's defense deep into the end zone. Look at that. That's just an incredible performance tonight by the Golden Tide offensive line. That's a touchdown by John Wes Wilkins. A yard away. In to attempt the extra point. Isaiah Hicks, the snap, the brace, the kick. All perfect. With 4:51 left before halftime, our new score, Peabody 41. BTW nothing on Jackson's News Talk 101.5 and WNWS.com.
What? 30 seconds to tell them about Rockin' Dough Pizza?
Here goes.
Try Rockin' Dough's ZZ Tots, shredded potatoes, cheddar, Havarti with a sriracha aioli. Or the Blues Burger, blackened beef, blue cheese, arugula with truffle mayo and a balsamic reduction. The Cuban Grinder with pork, ham, Swiss, pickles, garlic, basil aioli, and a grained mustard. The Super Freak Pizza, my favorite. White sauce, spicy Italian sausage with caramelized onions and honey. And their fantastic Sunday brunch. Rockin' Dough in the Jackson Walk Plaza, a slice of the good life.
Keeping you informed, alerted, and entertained. We're Jackson's News Talk, 101.5 FM.
Rice Franks,
41-0 Peabody. We still have 4:51 remaining in the first half. Kick it off again is Bryce Franks. His toe has got to be getting sore. It hits the leather again, a high, short kickoff. It's bumbled at the 15 and scooped up here along that far hash mark, crossing the 20, out to the 21, maybe the 22-yard line, and that's about all. Franks kickoffs. He's putting them in the end zone. He's hit him short, but he's given us a little bit of hang time tonight, and the Peabody kickoff coverage team has played well.
Yeah,
So
I
minus
think
one long return.
I think they're just working on depth on their kickoffs, because sometimes you want to get it up there and try to elevate it up in the jet stream, and just not every time the ball needs to go sailing through the back of the end zone. He can certainly do that, but you work on all these things. It's a 41-0 game. You're working on everything you got. And, I feel bad for BTW. I really do, because this is a great game. It's a great game to play, and this is no fun. It cannot be fun for them, and this is the first half of the first game of the year.
41-0. They got here late. And from there, it's been all downhill. First and 10 for the own 21. Boyd back to throw. He'll launch it deep down the football field and incomplete. That was an obvious offensive pass interference. Had it been caught, you probably would have seen a flag come out there. No flags. The intended receiver, as you watch on this replay, just grab the defensive back, throw him down. Look here.
As obvious as the pass interference was, that it's clear these officials are ready to get this thing through, because you go back on this replay and you'll take a look at the left tackle. That may be the worst hold I've ever seen in my life. But I think the officials are just at a point, let's say, we're going to get this thing through.
Second and 10. Boyd, the QB, out of the shotgun. Here's a draw as he hands it off straight at the middle. It's a foul ball. That ball squirts free. Who's got it? No signal yet. Who's got it? Who's got it? No signal yet. Now there is. It's Peabody football. Another turnover. That looked like a helmet at the point of impact on the ball. That ball just popped free.
Yeah, no question. And a couple of different players made big plays. Number 76 in there, Tony Walters, and your cousin, Rafe Hanna, both in there. Hanna with the early penetration, spins the running back around, and then number 76, Tony Walters, comes in and forces that fumble.
Oh, boy. This game brought to you in part by Sonic of Jackson, with 6 Jackson Sonic locations. Live made for learning. Sonic of Jackson. First and 10 Peabody after 20 of BTW. On the ground again to the 15. Straight up the middle of the 10 to the 5. To the end zone. Touchdown Peabody. Oh, boy.
47-0.
Jack Laz Wilkins. That touchdown run, 21 yards for Wilkins. Doing it pay dirt. The drive after the turnover, one play, 21 yards, and the Tide have put 47 points on the board here in the first half. Still, with 4:14 remaining in the second quarter. Game for the PAT attempt is Isaiah Hicks. Hicks' kick is up, and that kicker is good.
Hicks splits the uprights.
With 4:14 left before halftime on U Score. Peabody 47. I make it 48. Wait a minute. Where's the calculator view?
Yeah,
Peabody
48.
48. BTW nothing. on Jackson's News Talk 101.5 at WNWS.com.
Do you have cataracts, glaucoma, or any form of eye disease? At Hughes Eye Center, our physicians include residency-trained optometrists, surgical ophthalmologists, retinal surgeons, and oculoplastic surgeons, all right here in Jackson, Tennessee at Hughes Eye Center. There's no need to drive to Memphis or Nashville for your surgical eye care needs. Call 664-1994 to schedule your consultation. At Hughes Eye Center on Stonebridge in Jackson, that's 664-1994.
The latest news, hottest talk. Jackson's News Talk, 101.5 FM.
Peabody football brought to you in part by Dynamics Physical Therapy right here in Trenton. Ross is here tonight taking care of the Tide on the sidelines. Frank's kickoff scooped it to 15. Down to the 20. Flags fly. Out to the 24-yard line with flags there. This one will probably come back. Dynamics Physical Therapy. Taking care of the Tide tonight. Ross down there. Dynamics Physical Therapy and Fitness. 126 Davy Crockett Mall in Trenton. Call 855-2221. Dynamics Physical Therapy and Fitness and Bass, these local sponsors, bringing you Trenton Peabody football and high school football. Remember, these great sponsors view because they make sure that Peabody High School gets all the accolades they deserve on Friday nights, and these games are replayed shortly after. You can watch it on demand at WNWS.com. Worthy Road Studios, Paul Schulze, who, by the way, it was his fault when I got the score wrong because he's developed carpal tunnel over there. He can't type the score in fast enough. He has one of those, what looks like a bowling glove on. His boy. Underneath he goes, 10, 15, 20, bouncing outside the number 25, down the sideline to the 30, to the 35, crossing the 35 out to the 40, and finally ridden out of bounds at the 42-yard line. That's a gain of 41 yards, the biggest play of the night offensively for BTW. And Bass, if that one was executed as designed, then it was one of the most brilliant designs of all time.
Well, it was not a brilliant design. That was a great job of improvising that time by Brandon Boyd and his running back Perion Gates. If I'm Tab and I'm this defensive staff, I'm not mad at my boys. They were in position. That is truly one of those things.
BTW has some athletes.
Oh, they do.
Boyd is one of those.
Boyd, Gates, and Oliver can play.
Absolutely.
They all can play.
First and 10. Here's Boyd back to throw. Rolling right, flags fly. Boyd decides to run it. Has the 45 and take it off his feet at the 46. If this one stands, it'll be a gain of 3. But it's not. Hold called on BTW. They'll bring this one back.
Well, and the center for BTW is really putting Boyd in especially when they're in the shotgun behind the 8 ball, because this thing it's like a free throw. This is supposed to be a quick, direct snap, and that ball, Brandon Boyd is 6'2", and these snaps are going way high up in the air. And by the time he gets his hand on the ball, that the pressure's already there on him. He needs to be able to survey.
Some of the best plays tonight have been made by Boyd, just corralling the snap, the shotgun snap. Wouldn't you say, Bew?
Yeah, that and some of these runs by Oliver. Yeah.
I say that facetiously, but it's actually true, isn't it?
It is.
This game presented in part by Sarah of Jackson. One destination and so many choices. Shop online at sarahjackson.com. Also by MasterFit Medical Supply. They're going to be with us every Thursday night, downtown Jackson. Blacksmith Restaurant, Bew. We're going to tell you about that. That's Throwdown Thursdays, Bew. Starting in September at Blacksmith Restaurant. That should be a lot of fun. It's going to change our lives. Here is Boyd to the air again. Slip screen. It's broken up and incomplete at the 37-yard line. It'll be second down at 23. But Bass Blacksmith Restaurant, great food downtown Jackson on Shannon Street. And the NFL will join them every Thursday night at Blacksmith Restaurants. Throwdown Thursdays with the cheap seats beginning at 6 o'clock. Tell them about it, Bew.
Yeah, we're real excited about that. As Danny told you, right next to the farmer's market across from the station, the Blacksmith. We've got a bunch of brand new items on their menu. We're going to be playing, what do you call that game? Cornhole. We're going to be playing ping pong, man. We're going to be giving away Titans tickets. We're going to be watching football on Thursday nights. It is going to be the new destination for Thursday night football.
Second and 23. BTW, their own 30. It's all Peabody. It's 48-0. Approaching halftime. They keep it on the ground. Will BTW. It's on the sweep left side. Nothing there. Clock ticks down to 2:53 left in the first half. 48-0 Peabody. Some blowouts tonight, big time. Two of those here in Gibson County. 55-0 Milan. 4 minutes ago in I think the second quarter. Haywood 19. Henry County 14. Oh, boy.
Everything we expected and more. What we should have had tonight was Milan versus Peabody and Humboldt versus BTW. You know?
That would have been two competitive football games. We'll see if next year you can make the schedules. I like that view. Boyd back to throw. Slings it deep down the center of the field. Incomplete. Had a great shot at an INT. Did Carson Van Diver, a sophomore. You know he wants another shot at that one. It was a high pop fly. Van Diver in position. Buick just mistimed the jump. It goes incomplete.
But honestly, that's probably what BTW should do on every play. At this one, by the way, that's a 45-yard flick off your back foot.
Just flicked it.
Yeah, 45 yards.
Hayden Nichols.
Go out there right now,
Just
grab a
flicked it,
football, and try to throw it 45 yards, Dan. See if you can throw it 45 yards.
There's no doubt I can do that.
Really?
No doubt. Since I'm not going to do it, why wouldn't I say I could? Another punt situation view for BTW. And that spells trouble. Here's the punt. Shorts. Low. Peabody will back away, let it hit at the 45 of the tide. It'll die at the 43. Is
1:54 to go before half.
Darren easily. Sophomore. Seen a lot of young players now enter the game. Coach Shane Jacobs has seen enough out of his starters. He says, okay, guys, don't get anyone hurt. We'll see offensively this time for the Tide what they decide to do. With 1:54 left before halftime, it's 48-0. Peabody with a big advantage here, still in the first half. Some great games, though. 19-14, Haywood leading Henry County. Milan dominating Humboldt 55-0. We'll get you an update on Crockett County in a moment. That one, I'm sure, has gone final by now, Bew, but Crockett County had a big lead.
Yeah, they did.
In the third quarter. New quarterback, high snap, he handles it, hands it off, working left side with Will. Crossing to 45 out to midfield and take it down at the 48 of the BTW on the carry. First one tonight for Alan Jones. The sophomore has 9 yards on first down. And the young man that took that snap was a young man that thought he was probably going to start tonight because of the injury to August. Tristan Cook, a sophomore. It's a fumble. And who's got it? That ball is still on the ground. Scooped up by Peabody at the 40, to the 35, 30, to the 25, to the 20, to the 15, to the 10, to the end zone. Touchdown, Peabody. Oh, boy. That's Desmond Tyler. You're going to watch this replay at WNWS.com. Look at this, Bew. That one started off at an Alan James run. Never really got the handoff. That ball squirted free and bounced forwards. It was at the 41-yard line. When Desmond Tyler saw it, he scooped it in one motion and turned on the jets, bounced it outside, and sailed down the sideline to the end zone. For the Peabody touchdown. 43-yard touchdown run. 54-0 Peabody. Wow. Here's Hicks. Extra point is up, and it is good.
Good as well. It's 55-0. We've got about
58 seconds left before halftime. Yes, before halftime. It's Peabody 55 and BTW nothing. On Jackson's News Talk 101.5 and WNWS.com.
All right, boys, this is it. Yeah. You've got to lay it all out on the line. Give it all you got. Yeah. I want to see more dunks. Yeah. In buffalo sauce. Yeah. Garlic parmesan and bourbon barbecue. Now, I want you to go out there and get us some Dunk Ultimate Chicken Sandwiches from Sonic.
But, Coach, what about the second half?
Halves? What have I told you guys about halves?
Whole sandwiches only. Whole sandwiches only.
New Dunked Ultimate Chicken Sandwiches. This is how you Sonic. For a limited time, only at participating Sonic drive-ins.
Monday Night Football. The NFL. Only on News Talk. 101.5 FM.
Peabody Golden Tide Football being presented in part by Raspberry Service Center. 2216 Highway 45 Bypass in Trenton. Also brought to you in part by Hickerson Automotive Group. Hickerson Automotive Group. 2052 Highway 45 Bypass in Trenton. By Ed Norman at LA Realty. 107 West Court Square in Trenton. Ed's a Great American 855-9899. Frank's kickoff will be taken in by BTW at the 7. To the 15, to the 20. On his feet, bouncing outside. Crossing the 20, angling out of bounds at the 27. And that's where BTW will take over first down and 10. And yeah, Crockett County, Kevin Ward's team got to rebuild. They got a tough season opener against Dyer County. Oh, hum. Crockett County 49 and Dyer County 29. The Cavaliers 1-0. And boy, I tell you, the brilliance of Kevin Ward and the Crockett County Cavaliers, all you hear is belly aching. Oh, geez, we lost so much. And they did. They really did. But a nice win tonight for a team that's rebuilding after a big-time graduation last year. 1-0, the Cavaliers.
Yeah, and we'll get a chance to see them next week at Kirkland Field. But 49 points, I guarantee you, got the attention of Jim Hardigrave.
First and 10, BTW from their own 26. On the ground, no gain. On first down, Peabody football is presented in part by Dynamics Physical Therapy and Fitness, 126 Davy Crockett Mall in Trenton. Call 855-2221. Ross is here tonight on the sideline like a big old angel hovering over the Peabody Golden Tide. The trainer for Peabody, thanks to Dynamics Physical Therapy and Fitness. Davy Crockett Mall here in Trenton. Also presented by Griffin Automotive.
55-0 Golden Tide.
Trenton, 403 East Eden Street in Trenton. They can fix anything when it comes to an automobile. They can fix anything but a broken heart. At Griffin Automotive in Trenton. Finally, mercifully, for BTW, we reached halftime. But Bass, we couldn't reach halftime before the Tide were able to put up 55 points in the first half. And you're right, you're on the bad end of that, and it's not much fun. And you can see BTW talking, the coaches talking with the officials. They want to chat with the Peabody head coach Shane Jacobs, and so obviously we're going to be under a mercy rule. I don't know what they would be chatting about other than.
Why don't we just call this thing now? It could be a conversation. I know that sounds amazing, but it's possible. I've never seen it before, but that doesn't mean it doesn't happen. This is the most lopsided game I've ever done.
The narrator is watching Jake Patterson, his nephew, play tonight. Tipton Rosemark and Gibson County playing some football at halftime. Gibson County with a 14-10 advantage over Tipton Rosemark. How about the Pioneers?
Yeah, man, they've really started over the last couple of years, really starting to piece that thing together. They've been hungry to win games there. They've been known as a girls' basketball school, and they certainly are, but they want to win some football games. And think they got the right man in place. I really like what's happening over at Gibson County.
South Gibson, 14-7, they led at halftime over the Lexington Tigers. South Gibson, 3 turnovers. Lexington had 75 yards and penalties at halftime. So South Gibson a 14-7 advantage. That game you can watch at WNWS.com. Milan had a 55-0 lead over Humboldt Bass with 4 minutes left in the second quarter. Just sad what's happened in that rivalry, you know?
Yeah, it really is. Sounds like basically we've got the difference in talent between those two teams is basically the difference what we have here. I think it's same exact score, right? 55-0.
Yep. Crockett County knocks off Dyer County. The final 49-29. Kevin Ward's team wins it tonight. A nice season opening win for Crockett County, I thought, you.
I thought so too. I thought so too. We were wondering what the offense was going to look like, and at least through 1 week, it looks like they haven't missed a beat. Should be a fantastic game next week between the Bruins and the Cavaliers.
Southside opening up tonight with Ripley Bass, the Hawks. It's been all Southside, 42-3, 10:25 to go, second quarter. How about them Hawks? Lord of mercy. And thanks for sending us those updates. You can text the scores from your game on the Old Town Spaghetti Store text line at 277-5155. We'll read those right over the air for you, right here at Peabody High School. So at halftime, it's Peabody 55 and Booker T. Washington nothing. We'll come back for the halftime show. Seabass and Hayden Nichols will update you on scores all across West Tennessee here on News Talk 101.5. And also, you can watch tonight's game at WNWS.com. We'll get an update on Haywood. They're playing up at Henry County tonight. That's another game you can watch at WNWS.com. We'll be back in 4 minutes for some halftime scores right here on Jackson's News Talk 101.5 and WNWS.com.
MasterFit Medical Equipment is on a mission, and that mission is to serve everyone with premium medical equipment at savings you wouldn't find elsewhere. At MasterFit, we represent over 200 medical equipment and supply manufacturers and over 90,000 products, with much of it in our warehouse right here in Jackson. Defibrillators, monitors, EKGs, pumps, sensors, and more. So when you need more affordable medical equipment, call MasterFit Medical Equipment at 554-1223.
Have you heard? Sonic Nights is the event of the summer. Like, half the city will be there after 8 p.m.
Oh, you have to be there for half-price real ice cream shakes and ice cream slushes.
And half-price floats. I have to have those.
Boy, you can't have them all for yourself. Haven't you heard of sharing?
Of course I have. Want to head to Sonic after we ride the half-pipe?
You know it. I'll see you there in half an hour.
You have to stop by Sonic Nights after 8 p.m. for half-price real ice cream slushes, shakes, and floats. This is how you Sonic. For limited time only, participating Sonic items.
At Home Medical Products, we provide patients with products to make sure you breathe, sleep, move, and live well. With items like nebulizers, travel oxygen, CPAPs, hospital beds, wheelchairs, scooters, lift chairs, commodes, and so much more. You have a choice when choosing home medical companies. It's the patient's choice. Make the right choice. Locally owned and operated Home Medical Products. Call 877-660-0084 or find them online at hmpinc.net.
Remember to sign up for ABC Heat and Plumbing's Red Carpet Club, where we'll come to your house several times a year until we can find something to charge you for. Oops, did I say that out loud?
This is Charlie Garrett with Garrett Plumbing and Heating. We know you don't want us tracking through your house unless you have a reason to call us. At Garrett, we do both commercial and residential work with certified technicians for heating, cooling, and plumbing. We've been locally owned in Jackson since 1955. No gimmicks, just good dependable work, including sales and installation of carrier units with easy financing. Call us at 668-3339. That's 668-3339.
Insurance is the way to protect yourself and your family, and no one is better helping you through the insurance maze than Brandon Jones State Farm. Brandon Jones has been Jackson's State Farm agent since 2006 after graduating from Lambuth University. Home and property, life, health, banking products, annuities, mutual funds. All the products you need to ensure a prosperous future. Brandon Jones State Farm Insurance, 2152 North Highland across from Toys R Us. 660-6800 for Brandon Jones State Farm Insurance.
Shop Carlock Nissan of Jackson on-site or online today. Carlock's new and used Nissan dealership in Jackson has stylish, competitively priced new options to explore. So don't put off your search for a Nissan any longer. Carlock's knowledgeable, experienced sales staff is committed to delivering a high quality of service that enables you to shop confidently. At Carlock Nissan of Jackson, we not only believe in supporting our customers, but in supporting the community we're proud to be a part of. We contribute to many causes and organizations such as the Susan B. Komen Foundation and the Wounded Warrior Project. Slip behind the wheel of a new Nissan Altima for an invigorating test drive, or learn about the active safety features that come standard on the Rogue. Visit Carlock Nissan of Jackson today. We have an on-site finance department that will assist you with your bad credit, car loan needs, and a service team that will keep your purchase healthy for many years to come. Don't miss your chance to own a versatile new Nissan Versa today. Visit our dealership on Van Drive in Jackson today.
Choose the best one. When it comes to choosing the right tires for your vehicle, we want to make it easy for you to choose the best one. At Best One Tire, we have thousands of passenger and light truck tires in stock, including Michelin, BF Goodrich, Uniroyal, Bridgestone, and Firestone. When you buy your tires from Best One Tire, you'll receive free nitrogen inflation. And we rotate and balance your tires free for the life of the tire. Also, with every free tire rotation, we do a free brake inspection. In addition to tires, we offer oil changes, wheel alignments, and complete brake service. We want your business for generations to come. Your family is our family at Best One Tire. Let us put you safely on the road. Call us at 660-4072. Best One Tire, just off Highway 412 at the Country Club exit, just down from 84 Lumber, and at 1180 South Dupree in Brownsville. Best One Tire.
News Talk 101.5 FM, the home of Monday Night Football. Monday Night Football.
Well, hi, atop the press box here in Trenton, Tennessee. Oh boy, 55-0. 55-0 here at the half. It's all Golden Tide over Booker T. Washington. Now, the reason that we're here tonight is because of the USJ game being moved to last night, and of course the weather we were expecting tonight hit last night. USJ got about 15 minutes into that game. The lightning came. They suspended that game, and it will not be made up. So for those Eagle fans and Bruins fans who were wondering, especially the Eagles fans, had a few people text and wondering where the game was, why we weren't there, and why it wasn't on the feed, because the game is not happening. That game is finished.
It's going to take it a 9-week season for them, aren't they?
So we asked Hayden, the voice of the Golden Tide, if we could come hang out with him here on a Friday night to start things off for the season. 7 rushing touchdowns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rushing touchdowns, that is, by 4 different players, with Dixon and Wilkins both getting 3 rushing touchdowns so far, and a great run by Tyler on a fumble. Desmond Tyler, the senior running back, I guess about 3rd or 4th string here. But, I mean, you saw when he picked up that ball, there's some horses in this backfield for the Trenton Peabody Golden Tide. Really, this looks like a very complete football team. It's just so hard to tell. It's just so hard to tell because the level of competition is not there. You've played the game, so you understand what I'm talking about.
Absolutely.
The things that you work on, that you expect to see in front of you, you know, on the line of scrimmage and on the field, they're not there. They're not happening. So you just, all you can do is do your job.
Right.
But, you know, and as much as it's fun to win football games,
it's fun to play football games.
You definitely want to be on the right side of one of these, it gets to the point where it's really not fun for even the team that's got 55 at this point.
And I think for the Peabody Golden Tide, this is a game that they're going to get to look at themselves. They're getting real-time in-game experience. They're getting the, you know, kind of getting the cobwebs out and getting the gears going. So if anything, I see this as a very good scrimmage for Peabody, where they're getting an opportunity to get everybody on the field, see what they're going to be dealing with this season against this Booker T. Washington Warriors squad. Now, I will say, though, I'm seeing a lot of very good playmakers with Booker T. Washington, but as an overall team, they don't really have it together tonight. And, you know, looking at Peabody Golden Tide, of course, we're seeing some mistakes. We're seeing, especially on the offensive line, seeing some missed blocks. On the defense, seeing some coverage issues. But as a whole, we are getting a very, very good look at this Trenton Peabody Golden Tide offense and defense and what exactly we're going to be seeing this season. And for me, being up here in the stands calling this, I'm super excited. It's awesome to see the team on the field, and they are playing their hearts out even though they know what the score is.
This will be a very different type of football game. And I think, look, because that's the same way starting out with Trenton. I mean, the results were good, but there was a few things that I guarantee you Coach Jacobs and the staff will take a look and say, hey, here's what we need to clean up. And they did that, by the way. They progressively got better as the second half, or as the second quarter went on. And this was a 34-point second quarter by the Golden Tide. So really everything going their way. A couple scores for you, 19-14 in Paris. Haywood with the 5-point lead at the half. We told you that was probably going to be the game of the week, and it has been so far. We also told you that, and then, by the way, you can watch that game at WNWS.com, as well the South Gibson game. 3 turnovers in the first half, yet they still have a lead on the road in Henderson County, taking on the Lexington Tigers 14-7 in Lexington at the half. The Hornets with the lead. A lot of penalties for the Big Red Tigers and lots of turnovers for the Hornets, so not a very pleasing game aesthetically, but it sounds like a very competitive one. That one 14-7, Hornets with the lead. Now, a game that is at the half. And a couple of years ago, this would have been a much closer football game. And matter of fact, it might have even went the other way. Listen to this score at the half: Covington 42, Munford nothing.
Oh wow!
42-0. So people wanting to look. Covington not even picked to win that region. Milan is. And I said, Covington, weren't we the ones that were playing for the state title last year? Where's our respect? And by the way, I talked to some folks inside that program. They really like their team this year, and obviously off to a very, very good start. Now, we'll get you some more scores as the night develops. We'll take this 4-minute timeout and come back here to Trenton, get you ready for third quarter action. Your score at the half: Trenton Peabody 55 and Memphis Booker T. Washington nothing. On Jackson's News Talk 101.5 and WNWS.com.
This weekend at Old Town Spaghetti Store, enjoy the marinated ribeye. 10-ounce marinated choice ribeye served with garlic, mashed potatoes, asparagus, and your choice of soup or dinner salad. The fresh catch Atlantic salmon, the soup vegetable beef, and the best prime rib in town. Slow roasted and cut to order, tender, juicy, and full of flavor. Happy hour Monday through Friday, 5 to 8 p.m. with half-price drinks. Old Town Spaghetti Store, celebrating over 36 years. Carriage House Drive, Jackson. Outside dining available.
There's a storm coming. We may not know its path, but Cy Young, your independent auto owner's insurance agent, will be there when you need him most, no matter what happens. Young Hughes Insurance Agency, strong through every storm. That's how it's been for the first 100 years and how it will be for generations to come. Cy Young with Young Hughes Insurance Agency, 731-696-5480. 731-696-5480.
When you step into King Jewelers, you're stepping into a family-owned business with nearly 30 years of experience. Let Grover King set you up with estate jewelry or the amazing Citizen Echo Drive watch, as well as custom-designed jewelry. King Jewelers buys gold and silver, offers Rolex repair, as well as watch and jewelry repair. Check out the selection of gemstone jewelry and diamond stud earrings. Store hours are Monday through Friday, 9:30 till 5:30 and 10 till 2 on Saturday.
King Jewelers, 16B Conrad Drive, and a brand new King Jewelers location in downtown Jackson.
What? 30 seconds to tell them about Rockin' Dough Pizza?
Here goes.
Try Rockin' Dough's ZZ Tots, shredded potatoes, cheddar, Havarti with a sriracha aioli. Or the Blues Burger, blackened beef, blue cheese, arugula with truffle mayo and a balsamic reduction. The Cuban Grinder with pork, ham, Swiss, pickles, garlic, basil aioli, and a grained mustard. The Super Freak Pizza, my favorite. White sauce, spicy Italian sausage with caramelized onions and honey. And their fantastic Sunday brunch. Rockin' Dough in the Jackson Walk Plaza, a slice of the good life.
Creating smiles and building confidence. Premier Dental Center, a tradition of quality care. State of the art, you'll find it here.
Premier Dental Dental Center would like to take this opportunity to say thank you to all our patients for their continued trust and confidence. Our team is looking forward to sharing the latest in technology with our patients, as well as showing you the positive effects that quality dental care can have on your life. We continue to offer affordable dentistry for your entire family.
Give us a call today to schedule those appointments. We can be reached in Jackson at 300-3000, in Milan at 613-2800, or in our Bells location at 663-9999.
Creating smiles and building confidence. Premier Dental Center.
Phelan Estes Insurance is an independent agency serving clients in Tennessee. The agency offers prompt professional service for auto, home, business, and life insurance coverage to its customers' needs. We're a part of the local community. Phelan Estes Insurance Agency offers auto, leisure, homeowners, business, renters, life insurance, and more. Get in touch with our friendly staff today at Phelan Estes Insurance Agency, 118 East Eaton Street. Trenton, get a quote today by calling 855-2813. That's 855-2813 for your trusted hometown insurance agency, Phelan Estes Insurance in Trenton. Open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 p.m. LA Realty LLC was started in January 2000 by longtime Gibson County native and real estate specialist Lynn Arnold. Since that time, our team has grown to include an office in Trenton, led by Ed Norman and many talented professionals who share the common goal of making your real estate goals a reality. We've been involved with the buying and selling of homes in Trenton and adjacent areas for over 10 years. Since inception, we've been an important part of the local community, and we will continue to serve all of the area's real estate needs for years to come. For residential and commercial real estate, contact Ed Norman at 855-9899 or 571-7092. That's 571-7092. That's Ed Norman at LA Realty, 107 West Court Street in Trenton. Tour our listings at larealtyllc.com.
When you need to know.
I know. Yeah, I know.
There's only one place to go.
Yeah, I know. I do. I do too.
Get in the know.
It's what I need to know.
Information you need to know on News Talk 101.5 FM.
And we're back here in the good old Trenton, Tennessee, with the Trenton Peabody Golden Tide facing the Booker T. Washington Warriors. It has been an absolute blowout for the Golden Tide, 55-0, getting ready to start the second half of gameplay here while the players are out there on the field getting ready. And this has just been a crazy game. I don't think that I've ever seen a game absolutely like this where it's kind of gone this direction. It's very, very one-sided for Golden.
Well, as bad of a beatdown as the first half was, it's not been the biggest one in this stadium tonight. That would be me versus these barbecue nachos.
Oh, man, they are fantastic, aren't they?
There was a mercy rule after the first bite. Good grief, y'all. I don't know who's cooking the barbecue here, but this is
good job,
top shelf, man. Straight from the concession stand here at Trenton Peabody. As Hayden told you, your score at the half. We're getting ready to kick things off here in a few minutes. I think they're going to actually add another 3 or 4 minutes of warm-up time, at least that's what the clock says, here to start the third quarter. If you're just now tuning in, it is all Trenton Peabody leading Booker T. Washington 55-0. Don't forget, after this one is over with, we'll do the post-game show go all the way up until about 11 o'clock. So we want to hear from you the game that you were at. Hopefully the game that you're at is a little bit closer than the ones that we are. We've had some blowouts in the area. We'll get you a full, complete scoreboard rundown here in just a few minutes. And, of course, in the post-game show, your calls are welcome in. You can hit us up, 423-8101 and 1-800-304-1015. And you can tell us all about the game that you were at. And, of course, we will set the stage for next week in week number 2 already upon us. High school football is here.
It is. It sure
7
is.
days from today, we're going to be at Kirkland Field. The Crockett County Cavaliers 49-29 over Dyer County tonight. A 20-point win for the Cavaliers. They'll come to Kirkland Field to take on the Bruins, who will come into that game with no record because last night that game got suspended and it won't be made 9 up.
Weeks.
But I'll tell you what, man, it was a lot of fun in the 15 minutes that we did get of game time because, that USJ team, and I talked with Coach Trapp after the game was over. We got to talking a little bit in the post game, and, man, it's just the biggest they're so big in the trenches. And I say they're so big. Look, they're not as big as teams, like Northside and some of the teams they'll play in the regular season, like Crockett County and like Haywood. But for USJ, I mean, you have 3 starting offensive linemen at 375 and up. Excuse me. Let me back up on that. Excuse me on that. 275.
Dropping 100.
Yeah, that 275. So looks like we're going to get ready to start the third quarter here. We'll get you some scores later on here in just a minute. By the way, we want to say hello and thank you to our good friend Jonathan Greer, who is producing and directing. Thank you, sir. We certainly appreciate that. And a score from Lexington with 2:40 left to go in the third quarter. Okay, I'll get you an update about what we're about to do here in just a second. This game won't last much more than about 10 minutes. South Gibson leading Lexington 13-12 with 2:40 left to go in the third quarter. So let's get you an update on what we're going to do. They did decide to play here in the second half, but what we're going to have won't take more than about 10 minutes, and this game's going to be over. We're not going to play 12-minute quarters, Hayden. We're going to play 4-minute quarters, and we're going to have a running clock. So literally this game may be over in about 10 minutes' time. And honestly, I'm cool with that. Now, I'm one of those people that says you don't teach a lesson. Don't teach a lesson by giving up.
Right.
This is not benefiting anyone. It's not. There's not a lesson to be learned for BTW here. This is pretty much the right thing to do. So this game will be cut extremely short from what it could be. And, of course, obviously, long gone are the starters for Trenton Peabody.
Right. Booker T. Washington out here, taking the ball first after halftime.
So Booker T. Washington coming to the line of scrimmage, and it looks like they as well. I would say they have some of their subs in, but they only have 23 players on the field, so it's just going to be pretty vanilla. Here's a little end around to the wide side. Nice move. He gets to the outside, nobody there to set the edge, and gets all the way just around midfield inside of Trenton Peabody territory. That's number 16. Let's see what we got here. It says to Jarvis Nelson. Now, Jarvis Nelson's made a couple of nice plays in this game. You pointed out, and I thought you were absolutely correct about this. BTW has some players.
Oh, absolutely.
They have a couple of athletes. Nelson is one of those. Boyd
is the
Zachary
one that's
Martin Perion Gates has played pretty well. The guy I've been the most impressed with, though, is Jamal Oliver, that running back. He's only had a few carries, but, man, he really flashed in the very little time in which he had. Now here's Boyd from the shotgun. Quick pass to the right side flat. Caught it around midfield and met by a host of tie defenders. He's going to lose about a yard on the play, setting up 2nd and 11, Hayden.
Yeah, and that was just a breakdown of all possible blocking options. As soon as Boyd took the snap, he looked out wide to see if his guy was open, and immediately he had to get the ball out. But it was going to be a loss of yardage either way because the defense was already there to pick him up. Yeah,
and BTW had an opportunity early in this game to make a couple of plays offensively. They went for it on a couple of go routes, weren't able to quite connect, but after that, Peabody made their adjustments, and you could tell there just wasn't much left. Now here's a quick straight go once again to Nelson, who misses the ball at the 23. Slips right through his hands. Just a straight go that time off the line of scrimmage. Nelson's slow to get up right now, but that ball hit right around the 23-yard line. If he catches that football, it might be a touchdown. Goes through his hands. Not a bad throw that time by Brandon Boyd on the go.
And that's what I've been seeing from Brandon Boyd is when he does decide to throw the ball down the field, it's a very beautiful pass, but not only that, it's usually very accurate. He just needs some receivers that are going to keep their eye on the ball and make the jump to get that pass out the end.
Yeah, it looked like little gator arms that time by Nelson because the ball was there, and he wanted to get it and pull those arms in just a little too quickly. We're inside the final minute of the third quarter. Yes, that's what I said. This was these are 4-minute quarters in the second half, agreed to by both coaches. So this third quarter about to wind up. Now here's Boyd throwing an inside bubble screen. It's incomplete and knocked down. That was 3rd and 11. Incomplete. That'll set up 4th and 11. And again, this is a running clock, so if people are wondering why the clock is running on the incompletion, this was something that was agreed to as they got ready to come out here in the second half. So we'll see what BTW elects to do. Honestly, really no reason not to go for it at this point, but they're probably going to let the clock run out here in the third quarter, down to 11 seconds. And Boyd just now coming to the huddle from the sideline. So it looks like that's going to be the final play of the third quarter. We'll take this break and come back and get you ready for the final 4 minutes of this one. Live from Trenton, Tennessee. Your score after 3. It's the Golden Tide 55 and BTW nothing. Back after this on Jackson's News Talk 101.5 FM and WNWS.com.
Go Tide from Dynamics Physical Therapy and Fitness in Trenton. At Dynamics, our mission is to be the bright spot in our customers' day while pursuing excellence in healthcare and service. We can help you with physical therapy treatment programs for things like post-surgical rehab, rotator cuff dysfunction, TMJ dysfunction, joint and back neck pains. We specialize in sports medicine for on-site medical coverage for sporting events, comprehensive injury management, communication with athletes and parents, coaches and physicians, as well as 24-hour on-call access to professional staff. We have a 24-hour full-service health clubs specialize in group fitness classes, cutting-edge equipment, and training advice. Dynamics also provides free injury assessments, complimentary injury and pain screenings, providing treatment options and care coordination as well. And evaluations are done by licensed provider. Dynamics Physical Therapy and Fitness, 126 Davy Crockett Mall. Call 855-2221 for Dynamics Physical Therapy and Fitness.
We're not just another radio station. We're your radio station. Jackson's News Talk, 101.5 FM.
Welcome back to Trenton, Tennessee, down to 3:25. First play of the fourth quarter. It was Brandon Boyd trying to hit his receiver on a straight go route again. And that's what we said earlier in the game. So this is what they need to do basically on every play. You know what? If it gets intercepted, it is what it is. Now, Booker T. Washington is a team that won 2 games last year. It's not like they cannot play football. They're not a great team by any stretch. The numbers are not there. But they did win a couple of games last year, and they will probably win a couple of games against other city teams in Memphis. But they're facing one of the best teams in this entire classification that some people think have a real shot at least making a real run for Cookeville. I see nothing that I saw tonight to dissuade me from thinking that. Like I said, the only problem is it's very difficult to get a gauge in a matchup like this.
Right, and they've got to get the dust off and get back into the hang of actually going up against an opponent for I would say the full amount of a game, but we cut it short here today. And I think a big thing for Booker T. Washington is, yes, they do have the players, but they don't have the depth.
Here's an end around to the wide side by number 24. That's Cameron Morgan. He's the 6th running back we've seen tonight for the Golden Tide. And I'm going to tell you what, every one of them, dude, every last one of them looks like they belong as a starting running back. You know what I mean? Now, they all have a little something different about them. Physically, Dixon is a moose, man.
Absolutely.
He's just a monster. But I tell you what, the guy that I was excited about with the ball in his hands, some of the runs he made was Jaquez Wilkins. He had 3 touchdowns just like Dixon. Now here's a power read, wide side sweep. Here is number 20, and that's Alan Jones. Cuts back inside. He'll pick up about right at the sticks. Should be just enough for a first down. We're under 2 minutes left to go in this football game. And the Golden Tide leading 55-0 with this backup offense being led by Tristan Cook, the sophomore quarterback who, as we mentioned earlier, you thought he might even be playing in this game and starting, but Cooper Bogus was able to go. Now here is Cook calling his own number, breaks a tackle, breaks another tackle, and stumbles down to the 14-yard line, a pickup of 6 yards. I think we have a flag on the play. Might have been a personal foul here right at the end. We'll see what happens. We're down to, we'll stop the clock for that. No, they're going to keep it running. We'll see what the call is. Looks like the Tide backing up, so it's going to be on Trenton Peabody. Let's get the call. It's a personal foul by Trenton Peabody. Didn't see what the play was, but they're going to back this thing up. And the clock is still running even as they mark off the penalty. So more than likely, maybe one more play, and this ball game will be over at 55-0. So here's Cook out of the shotgun, flanked on backs on both sides. Here's a give to the fumble. That's number 20 on the fumble. Alan Jones, he fumbles the football. Looks like Peabody's able to come up with it. That's one of the big offensive linemen, Blake Minnis. the sophomore tackle, falling on that football, and it looks like that is going. Let's see if Trenton Peabody tries to get one more play off here with about 13 seconds left to go. They'll try to. That's Cook in the backfield. Again, he's flanked by backs on both sides, and they may not snap this ball. Looks like they're not going to, and that's going to wrap it up as it should be. Your final score here from Trenton Peabody, Walter Kilser Stadium, the final score, Trenton Peabody 55, Booker T. Washington of Memphis nothing. We'll take this 4-minute timeout, come back and get you ready for the postgame show on Jackson's News Talk 101.5 and WNWS.com.
Trenton Medical Clinic provides care to patients with chronic disease such as high blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol, anxiety, depression, asthma, COPD, attention deficit disorder, obesity, and many other illnesses. DOT exams are also performed at their location. Most all insurances are accepted, including all TennCare products. Reasonable self-pay pricing is available. Trenton Medical Clinic is open Monday through Thursday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Appointments can be made by calling 731-855-2803. Walk-in patients are welcomed. Raspberry Tire and Service Center has been providing quality car care in Trenton, Tennessee since 1999. Our shop employs honest ASE certified technicians and mechanics, and we use the latest technology and equipment for our repairs. Because we are a certified Napa Auto Care Center, we're able to provide the benefits of an established national company while offering the personal touch of a local business. We understand that your vehicle is a major investment, and that is why we care for each customer's vehicle as if it were our own. Please be sure to go to raspberryservicecenter.com. Shop special section for our current promotions and specials. Raspberry Wrecker Service since 1982. Small, medium, and heavy wreckers available and on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call Kyle at 855-9438 or 487-1947. Day or night, one call and you're hooked. Raspberry Tire and Service Center, 2216 U.S. Highway 45 Bypass South in Trenton, Tennessee. Hickerson Automotive Group Incorporated is locally owned and operated by Richie and Andrea Hickerson and their team of automotive experts. Call or come by today and let Richie, Anthony, Seth, Eric, Scotty, or William help you find the parts and accessories you need to get back on the road. Hickerson Automotive Group in Trenton is home to Napa Legend batteries, custom-made hydraulic hose assemblies, as well as all your hometown automotive, industrial, and agricultural parts. Hickerson Automotive Group, your Trenton Napa Auto Parts store. Call 855-9370. Open Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. and open Saturday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. 2052 Highway 45 Bypass in Trenton. Roll Tide from Griffin Automotive in Trenton. We specialize in transmission work and diagnostics. Brian Griffin has 30 years of experience repairing transmissions, electrical problems, wiring issues, air conditioning, brakes, shocks, struts, oil changes, front and rear differential, and four-wheel drive service and repair. Griffin Automotive also has tires for your vehicle. Griffin Automotive can fix anything but a broken heart. Trenton has trusted Griffin Automotive since 1998. Griffin Automotive, 403 East Eaton Street in Trenton. Open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call 855-0558. That's 855-0558.
Eddie and Clint Sturgeon at Eddie's Pharmacy say Roll Tide. Eddie's Pharmacy offers free delivery and 24-hour emergency service. Eddie's Pharmacy is a Health Mart pharmacy. We have 2 drive-through windows for your convenience. Hay flu season begins in the fall and peaks over the winter. Don't wait till it's too late. Get your flu shot at Eddie's. Plus, Eddie's Pharmacy offers vaccinations. B12 shots for burst of energy. And if you have medications that require injection, we'll be happy to take care of that. Open Monday through Friday, 8 to 6. Saturday, 8 to 2. Plus 24-hour emergency service. Eddie's Pharmacy, 114 Davy Crockett Shopping Center, Trenton.
Nothing changes and improves the look of your home like new floor covering and furniture. Anderson's Furniture and Floor Covering has beautiful hardwood, ceramic tile, luxury vinyl, sheet vinyl from Armstrong Flooring and Shaw. They even have gorgeous area rugs. Anderson Furniture carries Vaughn, Bassett, Ashley, Mayo, and Lazy Boy for living room, bedroom, and dining room. And bedroom furniture from Jamison, Wayne, and Symbol. Free delivery and setup in Gibson and a 35-mile radius. Open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5:30, Saturday, 8 to 4:30. Anderson's Furniture and Floor Covering since 1951. 110 South Highland Street in Trenton. Call 855-1311. That's 855-1311.
Gear up for fall at Tennessee Tractor with the right people helping you find the right John Deere equipment. A 3025E is versatile enough to mow, grade, haul, you name it, and it's only $139 a month. A 5055E takes that to the next level with double the horsepower and 0% financing for 84 months. That's Tennessee True. Test drive one at any of our 10 locations or visit TennesseeTractor.com. Offer ends 10/26/18. Terms, conditions, exclusions, and warranty limitations apply. See dealer for details.
First in news, first in sports, the NFL, and Monday Night Football, only on News Talk 101.5 FM.
Well, if you were listening to the first half of this game, you thought, well, you know what, I'll run to Mickey D's or something like that and come back and listen to the second half. You're probably wondering what in the heck is going on. Well, it was 55-0 at the half. The coaches got together and said, "Let's do this thing. Let's put a wrap on this joint," and that's exactly what they did. They did come out for the second half. It was 2 4-minute quarters with a running clock. So basically, I have the second half timed at 11 minutes, which might be a world record, but it was necessary. And the outcome is the most important thing, and the outcome says that the Golden Tide are 1-0. 55-0, the game is final. Last year, this game was 61-8, so pretty much the same thing. 53-point win last year. Could have been much more than that this year. Of course, with a class act like Shane Jacobs. And they did nothing to run it up. Again, every touchdown was on the ground.
Yeah, absolutely.
They did not slang the ball all over the field and throw a bunch of bombs and anything like that. They were all on the ground. Now, let's talk about this scoring. First off, 10-15 into the first quarter. And it was number 4, Jarrell Dixon, with a 3-yard touchdown run. And by the way, it was pretty well defended. He met a defensive tackle in the backfield that shut him down, but he tried to tackle him up top. And Dixon is a powerful young man. You and I remember I walked right by him. I said, "Look at the guns on this cat." Mm-hmm. Just a junior, too. The junior tailback had a big night, the first of his 3 touchdowns. It was 5 minutes later, make that 4 minutes later, when number 8, Jaquez Wilkins, who, by the way, Dixon and Wilkins both just juniors.
Right.
That's great news for the folks here at Trenton Peabody with an absolutely, and you saw it, a beautiful 63-yard touchdown run. I thought the best play of the night.
I agree with you there, and to watch him take over that play, and he watched that play unfold and found his lane to get into the end zone. And not only that, but he was bulldozing over the Booker T. Washington defense for sure.
I thought he displayed a great field vision awareness. Mm-hmm. I thought he had great field vision awareness, and he anticipated the defensive players, and his cutbacks were great. And really the feet were amazing. But what was really cool is when he ran into a defender right about 25 yards, took a pop from a defender and just completely spun around. Mm-hmm. On his. He didn't get spun around. He did the spinning, and by the time he spun around, soon as he got turned around, his bearings were straight. He was still at full speed. I mean, he had to hesitate or anything. I mean, he'd spun around, and he was still full tilt. And that was just a beautiful play by the junior running back, 63 yards. Took 4 more minutes, and it was Dixon once again from 3 yards plunging in. This time he stood straight up. There were no defenders there. He waltzed right in, and our score after 1 was 20-0. And then it was Cooper Bogus, who called his own number on a 13-yard scamper on an A-gap lead. That it was it was a power read, and they faked that jet sweep to the wide side, and BTW bid on it, and he read it perfectly, went off his blockers. He had 2 blockers in front of him, was patient with his running, and cruised into the end zone. Very heady play by the quarterback.
Absolutely, and we were really excited to see Cooper out there today not only playing but starting. It's a really awesome story to see him out there, and so we're excited for him, for his family, seeing him on the field and playing.
And again, he also just a junior, man. You think about it. I mean, this team, we're not going to talk about 19's the year, because 18 could be the year.
Absolutely.
I mean, this team might be ready right now. Again, this is not really a good barometer. Next week will be. Mm-hmm. But still, you got to love many of your playmakers are underclassmen. That's, you'll take that all day long. it bodes well for the future. Let's see, it was Dixon with another touchdown run, his third touchdown of the game, a 5-yard scamper. 2 minutes later, 4 minutes of the second quarter, extra point was good, and Trenton Peabody was well on their way at this time. It was 34-0. And then Wilkins with his second touchdown was a 2-yard run. They had, 5 touchdowns of 5 yards or less. I mean, Absolutely. They were really taking advantage of it there in the red zone. Wilkins walks in untouched from the 2-yard line. Extra point was good. And then he got his final touchdown of the night on a 21-yard run that was absolutely a thing of beauty. I think he had the 2 prettiest runs of the night, and both for touchdowns.
And not to mention that, the fact that, especially with Wilkins, he only ran the ball 3 times, 76 yards on the ground and 3 touchdowns after only 3 rushes. They were tearing them up. Now, Dixon was a different story. He ran the ball 10 times and got the same 76 yards, but still 3 touchdowns. So it was much more of a running game tonight and just power balling it.
Yeah, and it's a great 1-2 punch. Not that Dixon is slow-footed. He's not. He's just powerful. He's that power back, and Wilkins is that change of pace that can absolutely get it to the heezy in a quickness. Now the final score, or the final touchdown of the night, was a very interesting touchdown by Desmond Tyler, the senior running back, who was it was the second team unit. They were in. The game was well in hand. It was 48-0 at the time. Peabody had the ball. Quarterback Tristan Cook didn't quite stick it in the belly of the running back. The ball was fumbled, kicked forward about 3 or 4 yards. There was a melee of people in the middle, and the ball squirts out over to the left side. And there is Desmond Tyler, the senior running back. Johnny on the spot, picks up the ball, and I'm going to tell you what, the second that ball touched his fingers, he was rolling. He was
turned on
rolling.
Jets.
Yeah, there was just a little bit of a crease, and he needed to explode through it to get to the house, and that's exactly what happened. He goes untouched the rest of the way. The extra point is good, and Trenton Peabody goes to a 55-0 lead. That was the score at the half. We told you the situation there in the second half with the running clock, and that was the final score. And Trenton Peabody moves to 1-0 on the season. So we got some stats, by the way, from game stats for Trenton Peabody. If you want to go ahead and put some of those out there.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a crazy game for Trenton Peabody, the Golden Tide. 20 rushes from the line of scrimmage and about 270 yards, 74 yards total. They put the ball up in the air. Actually, not that very many times. They had about 5 passes, 3 of them completed, and we got to see a little bit from Cooper, seeing him get his arm out and seeing him
get a little work
get the
in.
rust off.
Get a little work in.
And both teams had an issue holding on to the ball. With Trenton Peabody had a fumble early on in the game later on in the game that ended up being returned for a touchdown by Desmond Tyler. But not to mention that this was the big ticker for me. Booker T. Washington fumbled the ball 3 times, and they just could not get a feel for the game from the get-go. I don't know if it was the fact that, yes, they did come in late and they didn't get as much of an opportunity to warm up and get prepared for the game, but they were definitely struggling, especially on handoffs, to make sure that their running backs were securing the ball completely. And when somebody would take off, you've got to get that ball up under your arm, and you've got to hold it tight, or else it's going to be a very, very slow ball game for you.
No question. So Dixon had what on the day? 10 carries?
Yeah, 10 carries for 76 yards and 3 touchdowns. Not to mention the guy that you like, Jaquez Wilkins, who ended up only running the ball 3 times, 76 yards, 3 touchdowns. Every time he had the ball, he was in the end zone.
And it kind of seemed like every time that Trenton Peabody took a snap,
they were in the
offensive. Because you're right. About. I mean, what a total? You say a total of 274 yards of offense.
Mm-hmm.
Normally, you probably aren't even winning the game.
Right.
With 274 yards, or you're in a dogfight.
Right. Absolutely.
So to get 274 yards, and none of these touchdowns were like on kickoff or punt returns or interceptions or fumble recoveries. So to only have 274 yards and score 8 times,
it's a big deal.
It's a big deal. Now, one of the things that led to that was the fact that several times, especially in the second quarter, you would see Booker T. Washington kind of pinned back in their own territory, deep. They were inside the 10-yard line, and then when they'd have to punt the football, were averaging about 6-7 yards a punt, and so Trenton Peabody a couple different times was starting drives, inside the BTW 20-yard line. They just really didn't have very far to go. Not that they couldn't have, they just didn't have to.
Right.
So reference the 8 touchdowns on only 274 yards.
Yeah, and to look at Booker T. Washington's overall stats with just about 30 yards total on offense for the entire game. And like you said, seeing the fact that looking at the yards that Trenton Peabody had next to the amount of touchdowns, they were, I remember watching a punt that came out and it went right back to where Booker T started on their first down, and that's where Trenton Peabody was taking their first snaps of the drive. So they definitely put themselves in that situation, and Trenton Peabody, like you said, they had nowhere else to go except score. There wasn't a whole lot to do for them, but either way, they still got it in the end zone, still got the points on the board.